Everything Everywhere All at Once is the best movie I've seen thus far this year, and I really see no scenario where this movie isn't in my top 10 at the end of the
Wow,
year.
that's
Fan-
huge.
Fantastic film for so many reasons. And along those lines, let's just start here. This movie was in 38 theaters last weekend, grossed $1 million. It'll be wide everywhere this coming weekend, so everyone get a chance to see it. Right now, with like 18,000 entries, it is the highest rated film on Letterboxd,
Yeah.
4.6. That'll probably go down, but the fact that it's even there at this stage is really impressive and says a lot. Uh, and obviously people use Letterbox, probably more of the film twittery type people. However, you watch this movie and it is still going to be super populous and super popular with the common man as well. There's nothing to worry about there. So really excited for this movie to go wide. I really hope it does well because it's a completely original creation from Daniel Kwan and Daniel Schneider, who are like a directing duo known as Daniels, the Daniels. The last feature film they made was 2016's Swiss Army Man from A24, starring Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe, if you remember that. This is another A24 joint. And the reason I love it so much, the reason why seemingly everyone I've seen who's seen it loves it so much, is just because this is like one of the most impressive like original visions and commitments I've ever seen. And from the Daniels, like they deserve so much credit for how they made this movie work. And just our basic premise here, you have Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn Wong, our main character, and she works at a laundromat with her husband Waymond, played by Ki Hee Kwan, aka Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yes, Ki Hee Kwan came back to acting after taking a hiatus from 2002 to uh, last year. So that's really cool. And he is
Yeah.
amazing in this movie. But yes, they are a couple running a laundromat and they're being audited by the IRS. And their IRS agent is played by Jamie Lee Curtis. And before you know it, Evelyn is approached by Waymond, her husband, but it's a different version of Waymond, different mannerisms, takes his glasses off, different energy to him. And she realizes and is increasingly told via exposition from this other Wayman that he is from a different universe. He is a different Wayman. And her help, Evelyn's help, is needed to stop this evil force that is a threat to all these universes. And as you go through this movie, you learn how this world works. And it's like it is one of the most impressive, if not the most impressive, like presentation of a multiverse in a movie that I've ever seen. And
Mm.
not only is it like all like the sci-fi stuff, oh, other universes and stuff, right? But it also brings all that together with very intentional uh, messaging about tenderness and what your alternate paths in other multiverses could mean for like your future. And like I think the central themes of like uh, Evelyn and Wayman's relationship is never like sacrificed for the sake of like multiversal action spectacle. So because everything everywhere all at once is so like multifaceted in that regard, I think it's like really impressive the way like everything comes together at the end. Um, but like the general premise is that like Evelyn will start going into other multiverses and finding other versions of herself where she has like these other skills. Like there's a version where she became like an opera singer and thus she will take her that increased lung capacity back into herself in this other universe to get out of a sticky situation to stay alive and stuff like that. And she keeps like learning all these skills from other versions of herself, but in the meantime she's also picking up other memories of what could have been if other things had happened. So like the whole like alternate paths thing that is going as you're watching this action spectacle is like super mind blowing. It's like a
I love
sensory
that.
overload, but in like the best way possible. And of course, Michelle Yeoh and Ki Kwan, the martial arts in the movie is awesome. The action is great because we're seeing many versions of all these characters. The costume design is awesome. There's just so many different intricate costumes. Also, amazing theater movie because there's tons of awesome humor moments, ridiculous moments designed in the movie for laughs, and they just tear the roof off when you watch them with a crowd. So it's not like you can spoil a whole lot about it, but I'll just say like I think it's just a movie that deserves to be seen, and I really hope it's really successful because this would really show what can be achieved with original ideas when people really have a vision and are given the rope to execute on it. Like it's really impressive. And I thought Stephanie Sue plays their daughter Joy. She's really great. Evelyn's older father, played by James Hong, is really good. Also, Jamie Lee Curtis, really great because you get to see her do different versions from different universes as well too, and she's like super committed as well. So it's like kind of like curmudgeon IRS agent. Also, there's a scene in the film from one of the alternate paths where it's like a very direct reference to "In the Mood for Love," the Wong Kar Wai classic starring Tony Leung. I actually didn't catch that when I saw it, then I looked it up, and it's like clear as day when you like compare the two scenes. Really cool to see that. So yeah, I would say this is a movie that like cannot be skipped.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go see it this weekend. Can't wait actually, because I've heard great things. Pretty much everything I've heard, similar to what you said, Dave, is just like this is a singular movie going experience, something that people really can't compare. So I can't wait to see it. And drop your thoughts below if you're watching on YouTube. Let us know what you thought of everything, everywhere, all at once.